Ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute pleasure to be bringing you the action tonight for our Canadian Esports Nationals. We are Daniil, also known as Bettis McGee, and I am joined by
Theo, known as the Holy Juan.
And we are here for a special event tonight. In case you are not aware for some reason, like I said, it is the Canadian Esports Nationals, a celebration of Canadian collegiate esports. And we are showcasing a lot of the big games. We have Overwatch, Call of Duty, League of Legends, Valorant Game Changers, Rocket League. And I don't think I'm missing anything on that list. Perfect. We got on the first try. And tonight, on this stream, we have Overwatch 2 lined up for you, and we have a fantastic match getting going. We have St. Clair Saints versus Western University. Theo, tell me your thoughts on the match going on tonight.
I mean, the Saints are definitely going to be pretty favored. They are one of the strongest team in collegiate, and in their matchups today, I think they're definitely going to be coming in as the favorite, but still, these are respective teams they will be playing against. I mean, Western can put up a fight, but I'm definitely expecting a Saints clean sweep.
Yeah, absolutely. And Saints clean sweeps has been what we've been seeing basically the entire event so far, but there's still plenty of tournament left to be played. Saints having nothing but victory yesterday, and you might be a little confused if you've watched this before. You're seeing our Overwatch team, but not all the familiar faces. Today, we have a little bit of a mix going on with our roster. Some academy faces showing up. We got Chloe and Alyssa stepping up to be playing with the varsity squad. We have Mason, Jack, and Philip stepping up for the Overwatch 2 roster, and we're going to see what action they have stored for us going to this first game against Western. Now, Theo, you're no stranger to the Overwatch culture, I'll say. Western, Saints, what do you think the reputation these teams have, and who are you favoring going in?
I mean, it's definitely going to be the Saints' favorite. Saints are known very well in the Overwatch collegiate scene by the top teams. They always compete with the best of the best, and maybe didn't have the best possible ending to the season, but they have one final chance at redemption in these nationals to try and bring home a championship.
Yeah, walk home with at least one ring. And like you mentioned, not the ending that they were hoping for their NACE playoffs. I believe they finished second in that, but still they have a lot left to prove, and tonight is going to be a great place to prove it. Overwatch, it is an unchanging beast at times, it feels like, but going to this series, is there anything that people should be looking out for? Any big changes in the Overwatch meta, so to speak?
I mean, I think we won't be seeing that much meta from the Saints. I think there's going to be playing comfort picks. We might see some people on some roles you haven't seen before, but a lot of our players are at the best of the best in every single role, so it doesn't really matter who's playing what. I think it's just going to be kind of the Saints showing off their muscle this series.
Absolutely, and if the Saints are able to triumph in their game against Western University, they are going to be playing University of Ottawa after this. If you look at the bracket, Saints, they have their first match here against Western University, and after that one, if they are able to succeed, they will be playing against University of Ottawa, another respected team in the Overwatch collegiate space. And I'm sure if the Saints end up facing off against them, they'll have a little bit of a run for their money.
Yeah, University of Ottawa, definitely a pretty strong team. And, could cause some troubles. I mean, on both of these teams, there are good players on both of them. But combined with the roster, I think the Saints just have an edge. I mean, the chemistry, the skill, is definitely in the favor of the Saints. But if they do kind of let off too much, I could definitely see one of these teams giving them a run for their money.
Yeah, for sure. And I think especially with Overwatch, I say this for every esport title, honestly, but Overwatch, Valorant, and Rocket League, I think, are the biggest ones where momentum is everything. And you want to start off strong. You want to put a good foot forward because mental is a huge thing. And I think especially our Overwatch team, they are no strangers to the effect that mental can have on your performance in a game. So I think especially when you're playing with the mixed roster, you want to make sure everybody's comfortable, on the same page, doing what they need to be doing, so there's not going to be any kind of disturbances going forward.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I'm definitely expect them to be on the same page. I mean, I know my teammates, my academy teammates that are playing with the varsity roster right now. I mean, they're pretty chill. I don't think there should be any problems communication wise. I mean,
I agree.
Pretty friendly people, both of them. So very very we'll fit into the team very easily, I hope, and I shouldn't see any problems.
Yeah, speaking of fitting very easily into the team, you could also be ending up playing with this team sometime soon. Any thoughts going in? Like, if you were called after map 1, whether it's a win or a loss, if you get called in to step in, like, what are you telling yourself? Is there anything you're nervous about, excited for? Or?
I definitely wouldn't be nervous. I mean, it would just be another day just playing some Overwatch. I mean, I know the team around me is very strong, even if I don't necessarily have the best of best games. I know we'll be chilling.
Okay, but what if they put you on tank? Like,
I mean, I've been playing tank the entire season.
Really? I thought you were still a DPS
guy. I played tank the entire year.
Damn.
So, yeah, little do you know, I'm a bit of a flex god. Just don't put me on support.
All right, don't flex on me. I was going to say, well, maybe you wouldn't be on support. I would be on support if anything. They could pull me up.
They could put you on support.
Is legendary. I click heads in all kinds of games, ladies and gentlemen. You might not believe it, but I have some incredible Strinova clips I could showcase to prove you wrong if you had any doubts about my capability. But while we're getting things sorted out for this first match coming up, do you think there's anything particularly impressive about well, obviously it's a different roster today, but anything particularly impressive about how the Saints usually play Overwatch and what other teams should be looking out for or making adjustments to overcome them?
I mean, the one thing the Saints did was they would play the meta comp, but they wouldn't really play it meta. They would have a Sombra instead of an Echo, and we saw that in one of their final matches of the season. It just didn't work out. I mean, the Sombra was simply just stronger, and that Sombra ultimate... the Echo was just stronger, and the Sombra ultimate just took too long to build up in order to countervalue the Echo's ultimate. The Echo ultimate was just such a big swing. So if we do get to see some very close map, I definitely expect the Saints to switch over to something more meta, and we could see them play that kind of composition where it's a Mauga. You could play Mauga, Reaper, Echo, and your supports would be Brig and Juno. That's kind of staple comp. But I was talking to some players, we might not be seeing any of those characters. We might be seeing some spicy picks.
Okay, well, I'm also curious. We talk about the meta a lot, but at the end of the day, it could end up meaning nothing. These players go in and decide how they want to play, what they want to play, and when they want to play it. So as they are getting ready to assemble their heroes in Game 1 of the Canadian Esports Nationals, St. Clair College versus Western University. The roster is here. We got Aesthetic Sock, Razor, Squeak, Soaks, and Loveno off against Jester, Brandonosaur, Do, 2257, Fast, and Sung Hyun.
Fast. I mean, some interesting names, definitely. That Genji name might give me some struggles. Brandonosaur, yeah.
Brandonosaur.
Yeah, I'm cooked. I'm gonna call that one. I'm just gonna call that one Genji. But let's get right into the first map. Let's go. It's going to be sim TPs. So moving on to the side, you can see different team compositions. St. Clair have Alari, Ana, Winston, Widowmaker, and Tracer. And there's the first pick by Aesthetic Sock. That's a nice shot on the Widowmaker. And Saints look to take control of the point.
Yeah, huge first pick coming out immediately for the Saints. Aesthetic Sock, a very deadly DPS player in her own respects. Brandonosaur facing off against the Tracer. Gonna deflect the bullets. Brandonosaur getting saved out by the other teammate. But some deaths are finally coming through. Aesthetic Sock, Razor both going down. Brandonosaur taken out by Squeak. And this point is gonna be going towards the Saints, but still heavily contested.
Yeah, Saints have both of their supports still alive and just keeping up Squeak. There's nothing that Western can really do without their tank. And now finally back is the Winston. Saints look to reset. They did get the initial capture on the point, so it's going to be 16% ticking. Aesthetic Sock in a beautiful position, doesn't hit the headshot. Now gives away the position. Winston is sleeping. Can they get a good amount of damage on this Winston? He's on 1 HP. Is anyone going to be able to find the final blow? Squeak picks up the Lucio. That's a good start to the fight for the Saints, but the dive on the backline comes through. DU finds a couple, gets both supports, but Saints still looking to trade it. Aesthetic Sock and Razor find a couple. Squeak does get taken down, but Saints just have too much in their health bars. Do with not the best jump there. Nice headshot from Aesthetic Sock. 8 HP on the Genji. It's going to be a good team fight win from the Saints here.
Yeah, Saints still, they're going to be losing the point, but, I mean, coming back to get the contest, Fast to Facts getting forced off. Saints are going to keep control of the point, 53% now. Seung-hoon fighting off against Razor. Tracer duels. It's always contested when you see it. Bomb's going to go through, not going to find its mark. Razor taking out the enemy Tracer. Aesthetic Sock getting jumped by the the enemy Winston, finding the kill onto our deadly sniper, and that might be the opportunity they're looking for. If they had their support up, Jester is going to be taken out by Soaks, and this is going to be a good opportunity. Soaks running in, his ult is going to run out, but still plenty of support left in the tank for the Saints to keep him alive.
And they get a couple of picks. It's just a very prolonged fight where Western don't really have a chance at winning. Yes, they do find a couple of picks here, but down goes the Winston, and that could spell disaster now for the side of Western. They have all of these ultimates, but they've just not been able to use it. Both support ults, not used the first round. That is a travesty. On the side of Western, they look to get a touch, and they do, but let's see how these staggers are gonna deal with Saints. Pick up the kill onto the Genji, but Soaks does fall in the process. There's the Lucio beat drop. A lot of ultimates gonna be used here in this team, but let's see who can come out on top. Lucio's on 1 HP for Western. Is anyone gonna be able to find that final blow? The point flips, a couple kills from Western. It looks like they're gonna be the ones taking this team fight.
Yeah, keeping the game alive for Western University. The Saints getting a little bit too overextended, split up and chopped down. Love Note and Razor falling. This is going to be a bit of a staggered respawn, so the Saints are going to have to wait quite a bit before they can come back and make an offensive push. Razor still has the bomb. Seonghun does as well. Only ults in this game right now are going to be Tracers. Next up would be Squeak getting his soon enough, nearing 70% for the Winston ultimate. Razor forced back. Super low HP on the Tracer, has to use the recall and getting into a safe point to be able to come back in when the team is ready to go for a push altogether.
They flip the point. Soaks, I think, kicked Jester off of the map with that Zenyatta kick, and now Saints are going to win this fight, but it's Western. They're finding the kills left and right. St. Clair, they are dropping like flies. I mean, it's a great job from Western. They're diving onto this Widowmaker. They're diving onto this Ana, but there's going to be a nice shot by Aesthetic Sock. Picks up the Genji, as now they spot out the Tracer as well. The recall is going to be used. Great job there from the Saints as they look to take the point. They're all here. It's only the Moira really keeping everybody alive. Squeak goes in, has 1 HP, has that Primal Rage ready, as he's going to be able to find 1 kill. Nice shot by the Widowmaker, takes it down 1 more. The Winston going to be using that Primal Rage as well. It's a 3-for-2 trade as Steadthought finds 1 more. Point should be getting flipped. It's just a Lucio here. Can the Saints kill the Lucio? But look at the Winston here doing so much work. Squeak is able to pick up that Lucio. I don't know if the Winston's going to be able to touch. It's not going to be there. Saints take the first round.
Yeah, Western University, they found a couple of comebacks here and there, but the Saints were able to really come back and stomp out any aggression that they were putting forward. Coming back strong in this round 1. Saints leading in this first game. They just need to get 1 more point to win this first one. But Western University have demonstrated more than clearly that they are able to fight the Saints on even footing and really contest them on this point. What they're going to have to do going forward is figure out how to deal with the problematic DPSs on the side of St. Clair College. They're able to find so much value on these flanks and these approaches, getting picks where it is just too important not to find them. But Aesthetic Sock now on the Reaper. I've seen what she can do on Cassidy. I'm curious to see if we're going to see that coming through, but Squeak already with a great punch, forcing Winston off. Going to have to jump back in to stay alive, and already taking full control of the bridge. The Saints are looking to be in a great position to take this first point as soon as it opens up, and Squeak bearing the brunt of all this force, but still standing strong and finding his way to the back line, charging through, looking to find what he can. Razor so low, so is Love Note. Support in the back line are suffering quite a bit, but they are going to be able to maintain control for now.
As Dude does go in, but I don't know how long this Winston's going to live diving into a Reaper. That's not the best idea I've seen, as can be Saints taking this first fight easily. Razor, nice aim there, is able to get Lucio, and Saints gonna get the first capture with relative ease. They're very close to some key ultimates. Their supports have done a great job of keeping everyone alive, as Soaks on his, I think, 20% in rank win rate Moira. Quickly point that out, and there's going to be a kill coming through from Aesthetic Sock here onto the Winston. I mean, it looks like Western having trouble getting out of their spawn.
Aesthetic Sock in a position. Really surprised to try to push through this gate, but they might not even get there. Squeak is doing a great job suppressing the line from Western University. Brandon is so low. Getting healed up, by the Moira onto Jester and forced into a one-on-one in this side room. Not going to go your way, of course, going to escape as fast as he can. Squeak holding down the fort. Powered up indeed, going in and trying to find as much value as he can, using the ultimate, the Meteor Strike coming through, going to do a good amount of damage, finding the punch, just going to miss on the Moira, but at least going to be able to get the kill with the Coalescence coming up from Soaks. Got double, triple kill now for him, 20%. Are you sure, Theo? Doesn't seem like that the way this game's going, but with the Rat point coming out, not going to be able to complete it to take it back for Western University. 55% now for the Saints, and looks like they're not going to be able to get a touch anytime soon.
Yeah, and they're just getting a spawn camped here. I mean, a Razor alongside Squeak in this backline are causing complete havoc, and Soaks just going in and out on that Moira, able to stay alive. Squeak just playing so aggressive. There's going to be the Primal Rage. That's going to be maybe start something here for Western. They pick up a Love Note. It's actually a great start to this fight, but Razor finds a trade onto one. Still a lot of work here. Where are we going? My Reaper just fell off the map. Aesthetic song. That's not what you want to see. I mean, I think the death was coming no matter what there, but you know, maybe dying quicker for the reset as the rest of the Saints going to stay alive. Squeak finally falls down. The point will be flipped in the end as St. Clair look to reset.
Yeah, Western University, much to my surprise, they're able to find the flip once again. Soaks taking out Fastafax, doing great work, rotating around and finding much value on the Lucio. Sword coming out from Brandon the Sword. Razor's going to find the proximity mine, however, taking out the Winston. Squeak finding Jester with the headshot. Love Note as well, taking it out Genji on the side of Western University. And this might be a faster flip than that first game, as the Saints are already back in the point, 90% in their favor. And the Sexhawk getting that last bit of damage needed to take down Fastafax once again, forcing a respawn to come out. Squeak immediately in front of the spawn, ready to do some camping. Tent has been pitched, but unfortunately, okay, no, Meteor Strike is going to come through, allow for a little bit of time to stall, get back into a safe position, allow your sports to heal you back up. This is the last fight. Western University, it's their only chance they have left with the sound barrier coming through. St. Clair College, they're fighting so aggressively on this point, and the ults are going to be committed. Coalescence from Soaks doing so much effective work, healing and damaging both teammates and enemies alike. That's going to be another point going towards St. Clair College, and of course that is going to be game one going their way as well, doing a fantastic job against Western University. Oh, I think that was just about as what we expected, however.
Yeah, I mean, a great map from the Saints is exactly what they were expecting. We did see them play some relatively good picks, wasn't nothing too crazy. I mean, Doomfist isn't something you'd see too often, but when you have someone like Squeak, why not put him on Doomfist? He able to do such good work on that character, and just a great first map from the Saints. They're able to win it. They go up 1-0 in this best of 5.
Yeah, and you can see the Saints are having a great time. All members laughing, having an enjoyable series. At the end of the day, that's the goal, ain't it? To have a great time playing some competitive games, and I think they definitely achieved both goals. They had fun and made it very competitive in this game one, but Western University, again, I always love to point out that they still showed many signs of life. It was not a complete wash for the Saints. In fact, it was barely a wash at all. It was a tough fight on that first round. Saints were able to really clean things up and get it done a lot more effectively in that second one, but still, I feel like if the Saints weren't at their 100% in this game, they would have suffered a lot.
Absolutely, and they did play well there. And yeah, it was a good, valiant effort from Western there. I mean, they did everything they could in their power. They flipped the point a couple times, so got some points stacking on there. So they did win a couple team fights here and there, but in the long run, I think even Saints, when they were staggered, they were still able to find picks just purely based on their mechanics, and it just worked out really in their favor. And you know, it's going to be very hard for Western to win anything here if the Saints keep playing like this.
Yeah, and speaking of Western, I'm trying to think for myself at least, but I'll ask you first, is there anyone that comes to mind that really stuck out in their performance? I know we were a little struggling with the name, so even if you just
Winston, I mean, their Winston made a lot of good dives.
Do 2-2-5-7?
Yeah. I think something like that. I mean, made some really good dive plays, found the supports a couple times here and there, so I think that was definitely their bright spot. But their backline really suffered with the Saints counter dive, so it was kind of he was doing his job, but his supports were having a bit of a rough time against the full-out attack from the Saints. So it was a good try from Western. They can clean up those things. I mean, it's hard to clean up. That's not something you can just kind of get over. I mean, the Saints dive is just very, very strong. Trading backlines, it happens, and then, just kind of 3v3 happens with no supports. St. Clair have been proving to be stronger in that.
I'm sure that they would love to hear that. You think that the issue there's having that your tank played well, your supports, they could have done a little bit better.
There's not much they can do.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's a double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword.
Your dive is going really well, but the Saints dive is also going really well.
Yeah, exactly.
And then ultimately, when it comes down to the one-on-ones, the gunfights, the Saints are usually just coming out on top,
basically,
in those duels. But on the side of the Saints, I would like to point out, maybe it's a recency bias, but I think aesthetic stock, or kind of the opposite of recency bias. The first play we saw was a really strong headshot coming through. I think these pickoffs were what allowed the Saints to really flourish in this. Obviously, DPS, they usually get the spotlight.
They do.
The ones that get all the kills. But it is an important role that they fill. They have to get those kills. They have to get those picks. They have to click those heads if your team wants to succeed. Of course, your tank can prevent all the damage. They can do all the blocking. They can do whatever you need. But at the end of the day, someone needs to get those cleanup kills. And I think Aesthetic Stock really stepped up and delivered those kills and all that damage for the Saints.
Yeah, absolutely. It was crucial. Just a great play from everyone involved. But yeah, Widowmaker finding picks is just so valuable. And even though the dives were coming through, was having a bit of struggle maybe surviving here and there, but even on the dives was able to find a pick every now and then, and that definitely puts a big swing in the Saints' favor.
And coming from Dota, there's a term we have for that. It's called making space. Okay, yeah. Even just by getting gone on, people running down your lane and chasing you to kill you, hey, that's time for my team to go do something else. So even being a high value target and getting run down is helping your team in some respects. So Saints, again, doing a fantastic job in this first game. But as we move along in this series, are there any adjustments that you'd think would benefit either of these teams? Anything glaring that you thought you could improve on from these guys?
I mean, there's only so much you can do between maps if the other team is just really, really good mechanically. And the Saints have been playing together a long time. Yes, they have some subs, but it's once you have the veterans, that you have the leadership from the rest of the squad, kind of the academy team players can easily slot in and do their job. I mean, Seg Talk on the Widowmaker just has to stay alive, stay in the back, hit some headshots,
Don't feed.
But was playing that role well. And then Love Note was also having a good map. Got picked off here and there. Happens to everybody, but keeping the team alive, that's kind of her job on the support, and has been able to do so well. So for side of the Saints, I would say they've been done a great job of gelling well together. They played well together, following their veteran leadership.
Yeah, and I think, especially pointing out Love Note there, I think support is definitely one of those roles where you don't notice them unless they're doing something wrong. And I think the fact that neither of us had anything to say about the supports on the side of the Saints is a great point in their favor.
Yeah.
Love Note, like you said, really stepping up and getting a lot of value out of the Kiriko. And, of course, Soak's fantastic Moira. We're seeing every coalescence that came out, finding so much value off of it. But in this next game, it's going to be on King's Row, also known as Saints Row. Starting off here, Saints are definitely notorious on this map for being highly, highly effective on it, and they're going to be starting off on the attack to get things started.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're on attack. I'm surprised they didn't choose the defense first, because usually when you feel like you are the stronger team, defense is the side you pick because you just want to halt your opponents, as soon as possible. Try and not give them any room for any momentum, because if you fail a few pushes here, Western can quickly win a map if they get a full hold. So I don't know, I would have liked the defense first. Maybe let yourself know what you're going to be going up against on attack, but now it's going to be Saints on attack first.
Yeah, Razor getting things started off strong, and we're actually seeing a sub out. Noxious stepping in the place of Aesthetic Stock. Squeak rolling in immediately on the Wrecking Ball, finding so much damage and value, almost taking out that Winston. He's going to fall eventually. Noxious getting a double immediately, and only things falling are going to be buildings on the side of the Saints. They are having a lot of value getting things started off, and Squeak already pushing them back beyond the first point. Moira struggling to stay alive, and Saints have handedly taken control of this first point. But it's still plenty of time for Western. I'm being optimistic as possible to come back in this series, but it's definitely not looking good.
It's not good. They're going to go for a retouch. Squeak just going to roll through the whole back, and you could see so much damage from the Saints. I mean, Noxious on the Torbjorn. It's a very notorious pick on King's Row. not, but I mean, it's working out for them. He's finding the damage on this Winston. Squeaks just rolling through. Bit of body block action, some stagger action onto the Sojourn, and Love Note gonna be able to pick that one up. It's a great initial fight from the Saints. They roll over their opponents, then they capture the first objective. As you can see, the Winston trying to just take the high ground slowly, but gets poked out so heavily. Has to use that bubble early. It's going to allow the Saints to keep poking away this Winston and not let him get to a power position.
Yeah, once you got that shield down, it's very hard for the rest of your team in your back line to feel comfortable making anything happen. So getting that forced out, really strong play. Noxious with the double kill. Lobno finding the melee kill on Jester. It's not very often you see supports melee killing the enemy support. Link sliding their way to safety, trying so hard to stay alive here. Gunfighting, Razor almost taking him out, but with just a little bit of HP, he's able to recall, get back to full. And now the Saints are kind of just spawn camping here near the second and almost final point. The cart is super far behind, so they're doing this all with just all down one player, mind you. They're finding a lot of success in this map.
Yeah, it just seems like Western has no idea what to do against this Wrecking Ball defense attack composition. Is now Squeak rolling in, gets the slam. Moira gonna dash in. There's the Torbjorn ultimate, the Molten Core. Razor jumped off of the map, I believe. Love Note falls down as well. It looks like Western University with some life here. That Winston though will fall down. There's mines on the point. Can the Saints clutch it up? It's kind of mainly just Squeak. The rest of his team has abandoned him. And it looks like Western are going to be able to get a stop here on defense.
Yeah, very well done. This is the first time we've seen the Saints forced to stop in this game. They've been non-stop going since the gates opened up. But I think maybe playing down a player has kind of caught up to them. But at the very least now, that the cart is really at the front line of the battle, they're going to have all five, and they should be able to make a lot of great things happen here. Razor just spraying out anyone who's on that bridge, trying to pepper them with some damage, harass and poke to keep them off. But with Winston all up, it's going to be a battle for survival. Love not taken out, but not able to find a lot of value in this one. Super low as well.
Yeah, he's diving in deep on low health bar, but Soaks falls down. It looks like Noxious will be the next to fall. Razor does find the trade. Almost a C9 here. I mean, this Winston's going to get taken down now. It's a 3-on-3 situation on the point. The beat drop comes in. Razor is able to stay alive. 20 HP. Has the recall. Now only 75 HP. He's going to be able to get the health bar. Going to be still 3-on-3 on this point. Lucio, Moira trying to keep each other alive, and the Tracer doing as much damage as possible. There's a pick. They take down the Lucio, but do they have enough health bars to get back onto this point? Squeak's only on 220. Will look to get a health pack and stay alive. Is able to do so. The healer should be coming back for both sides, but there goes Love Note. A nice pick there. The Moira kind of keeping everyone from Western alive. Can the Saints get anybody off the point here? Squeak has that bomb. 61, 0.61 meters left. The bomb's going to get one. The kill comes through from Soaks as well. The point will be captured as Saints look to clean up.
Yeah, and you definitely want to be picking up Lynx there. One of the most valuable heroes on the side of Western University. Any comp you see with that hero is going to be incredibly reliant on them for the DPS, and taking them out basically ended the team fight with that Diva ultimate. Noxious with his ultimate in the back pocket. They have to maintain this push, maintain this pressure. The cart is coming on the corner, and once it rears its ugly head, you want to make sure you have at least more than one ult to support your push, but maybe you don't need it. We can provide another pickoff on Lynx and see plenty of time for them to do damage, farm ultimate percentage, and really establish a strong presence here on this final point.
And the Moira is going to get taken down. The Widowmaker gets taken down here. As Dude looks for the shots, gets taken down as well. I mean, the Saints just swap the Diva to make it so easy. Let's see the Molten Core come out here from Noxious. Put it all over the point. There it is now touching so hard here for the side of Western. Taking so much damage from the Torp.
Oh, wow.
Squeaks off the map. Soaks falls down as well. It's still looking good for the Saints, though. They get the kill off with Sojourn, and they clean up Lynx. Yes, they do get it, and the capture comes through. 2 minutes 30 seconds left for the side of the Saints.
Fighting all the way to the end. 70 meters. It's a long road to success that Western University is going to have to make the journey across if they want to be able to contest the Saints, and they don't even have a lot of time to do it. Saints really strong offensive pressure. And I know you said that teams, if they feel like they're stronger, they usually want to be starting on the defense. But I think the Saints think they are so much stronger that they can even do it on the offense instead. It's like a buffer overflow. They're pushing through the bounds and coming out on the opposite side. Western University now on the attack. Saints looking to stuff the defense off on this first point.
And they're going to be playing Bastion, Torbjorn, Reinhardt, Baptiste, and the Brig. I don't know what we're going to be seeing on this team. This is going to be something else. I mean, if Xionggun on Western University can find the headshots on the Widowmaker, there's only two characters she can really headshot.
Yeah.
That's Soaks and Love Note. And Soaks a little bit too hard to hit, you know,
Soaks
with
has a shield,
the shield.
yeah.
And Love Note's probably pretty easy to hit if Love Note's up in the air. The headshot comes through.
But also, why would Love Note even be anywhere in an angle that the sniper could even see? Like, there's just no reason to.
in theory, that's a great point, but we've seen the best of the best on this exact map make that crucial mistake. As there's a famous clip of one of the goats of Overwatch playing Baptiste and just jumps up to start the map, gets headshot, and they instantly give up the point. But now they're going to be pushing through with this Bastion. I can guarantee you that Western were not ready for this tomfoolery. As there goes the Reinhardt, almost picks up a kill, but is not going to be able to find it. St. Clair going to be able to win the first team play with relative ease.
And that's the first of many if the Saints are going to want to be able to stop this where they're starting it. I don't think they even want to let them get a single point of progress on this first point. Noxious on the Torbjorn has just been such a thorn in the side of the team that they're playing against. Almost finding Love Note. Hey, you know what? You're not wrong, Theo. When you're talking things that make sense, I'm gonna shut up and listen, because that was scarily close to being an opening point for the Saints. Missing the charge, not finding
poor
it, but
Torbjorn.
getting completely jumped in the alleyway in the streets of King's Row. Not what you want to see, but now they're trying to make a play coming up from the back of the building. Lynx on the Reaper, seeing for an opportunity to get into the back line, but waiting for their team to come in with the support first.
Yeah, Lynx needs to do all the damage here, but cannot drop too early and get shot out, then can lead to a disaster. Razor holding his turret for him, and there goes Xionggun. The drop comes in from the Reaper. Can they keep the Bastion alive? 5 HP, the lamp comes through. Can they blow up this Reinhardt? 1 HP on Sleep as well. Able to stay alive for the time being. Noxious in the backline on that Genji, finding a couple. Soaks, I mean, just saw a train driving towards him and looked right at it, took it, but so does Lynx. Get spent by the Reinhardt. Honestly, probably one of my favorite interactions in the game is when Reinhardt just pins through the whole team and just picks out a target.
It's very awesome. It was one of the first selling points of Overwatch for me. I feel like there's nothing really that comes close to the level of satisfaction of just hitting someone against the wall in a multiplayer shooter. It's just so visceral, so powerful, and you feel very strong. But even stronger is the Earth Shatter Squeak is holding on to, and with all the ults on the side of their team, barring Noxious and Love Notes, they could be absolutely devastating. Razor with the Bastion ult especially.
Soaked on the flank. Look at Soaked. He's gonna pop that rally, gets the stun. There's the Bastion ult on the whole team. Bomba. They find it. They find the A's. A very nice team kill. They're coming up from the Saints. I mean, they set up perfectly. They made them stuff, and then they popped the Brig ult behind. They found the stun on 2. Bastion will drop down. I mean, picture perfect team play from the Saints.
Couldn't ask for anything more. But hey, looking on the side of Western University, now it's their turn for a power play potentially with the Earth Shatter on their Reinhardt. But getting forced back into the corner, low shield, low HP, waiting for your supports to get you back up to a comfortable position to make a play. Noxious with the Dragon Blade, however, so even if the Reinhardt does get something going, it would be very easy to counter initiate on the back line of Western University. But Sleepdart's going to find one target. Pin. We're going to see a Reinhardt battle over here with the Earth Shatter. Could come through. Squeak's going to go down using the Earth Strike, taking out Noxious at the very least. No Dragon Strike is going to come through, and finding the pin all the way, taking down the Razor. This is looking to be very strong for Western University. I don't think the Saints are going to be able to come back and get this defense going. The ones who are already respawned are far too slow, and even if they get there, they're going to be alone, not with the rest of the team, so I think they're just playing for the next one.
Yeah, that was just a main tank differential in that one. I mean, Squeak's going to try and touch, but he's not going to get on that point. They do actually get on it. They get the touch. The Dragon Blade comes through. The ultimate from the caster. He finds one. Razor's back on the Junkrat. I don't know how he picked that one. Let's see if they hop off the point. Do they spot out the Ana? They do. Nice, oh, wow. Collect gets it there. And the Saints come back last second on the Junkrat, on Genji. They get the touch and they close out the map. They put themselves up 2-0 in the series.
That was fantastic. The Saints really surprising me there. Squeak just rushing into the heart of battle to get the touch, allowing Soaks to come in as well and get the final touch needed to start and end the final fight. We can see Noxious getting the play of the game. I think it's well deserved. You can see all the havoc that he's wreaking, and it is really I was a little bit unexpected. I didn't see that one coming. I was
forgot about that one?
Yeah, I did. Caught me off guard a little.
Me too, I can't lie. I mean, that was a great map from the Saints. A pretty standard play from them. I mean, not really. Not standard at all, actually. Bastion, a Torbjorn was their choice of DPS, and then a Junkrat Genji composition. I mean, they cooked up something, and it worked out well in the end for them. So, a great job by them. They go up 2-0 in the series. They look to continue their winning ways.
Yeah, Saints looking really untouchable so far in this series against Western University. I've been saying time and time again, it looks like they have signs of life, but I didn't really see those going into this second game. Saints just really had the upper hand the entire time, and there was that one moment near the end where it looked like they really had it, but even then, when all the cards were stacked in their favor, the Saints were still able to come back, and I'll say it made it look a little easy.
I mean, yeah, that was a good final contest. I honestly didn't think they had the touch, but the Genji was back in time. I just didn't realize. And as soon as the Genji touches, they get the counter pin on the Reinhardt, and they one-shot the Ryan. I mean, instantly that team fight just swings in your favor.
Yeah, for sure. And the Saints able to find these turnarounds time and time again. And very consistently, this team is able to get a strong start, maintain that lead, and hold it over Western University's head. But as we're going to the last mode, Hardpoint, I think it changes up the pace, the tempo of a match a lot, changes up the ult economy as well, how you want to choose to consider spending and utilizing your ultimates effectively. It's completely flipped on its head, and I feel like maybe this is the dynamic change that Western University needs to have a strong showing going through this game.
Yeah, that might be the case here. I mean, it's going to be a very quick-paced Flashpoint is, so if that's what we see, that would be it would be a lot of fun to see how these teams can change, but I'm not expecting too much of a different result here. They're going to be loading in. It's going to be a Junker Queen, Mercy, Echo. I mean, you know it's bad when they're playing Mercy. Mercy's like not good at all, and they're playing it. I mean, especially when you have DPS starts like Noxious and Razor, maybe it's a little bit more effective than having me there on DPS. So, I mean, I could see the Mercy pick definitely working out, but Western, I can guarantee you they're not ready for this. They're playing the Junker Queen Rush comp.
And if you're not aware of how Flashpoint works, there's going to be several points that spawn around the map, and the teams are going to have to fight for control. Once they capture the point, they have to hold control of it until they reach 100%. They have to do this 3 times to win the game. And as the watch, seems to be contested, both tanks squaring off right in front of each other. And Squeak holding control down as Razor finds the pickoff to get things started on Jester. Squeak still fighting the enemy Junker Queen, and she's finally going to fall thanks to all the support, all the damage coming out from the entirety of the Saints squad, it seems like. And that's going to be pretty consistently, pretty easy for the Saints to wipe up the rest of the team after their tank falls, and of course take control of the first Flashpoint.
Yeah, with these Mercy, these DPS of Razor and Noxious really are enabled, and we might see some crazy plays. As you can see, Razor, he's going into the spawn. Nobody is anywhere near the point. Thank you, Observer, for showing us as St. Clair have completely abandoned the objective. Now they are just trying to pad their stats from the look of things. As that flank from Razor is a complete crazy one, and he finds Xiangyan first, and it's a great start to the team fight. I mean, I don't see how this Western University are ever going to kill this Ashe. They're playing so far away. I mean, the positioning is perfect. If I'm on the side of Western, I mean, I don't really know what to do other than switch up the team.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you want to try to have something like this happen, maybe you go for something more divey or pick-off focus. I'm not sure. It feels like the Saints' backline and frontline are completely indomitable, and I don't see how Western's going to be able to get through and make things happen here. As the first flashpoint goes the way of St. Clair College, it's going to be 35 seconds until they're able to capture the next one. It's going to be plenty of times for these teams to get over and plan out their approach as they are now getting things started. Looking for it now. Western University slowly crawling their way over as Saints are already on it, and I think they're going to have their work cut out for them when it comes to capturing it.
Yeah, it definitely is. And every ultimate going to be ready here for the side of the Saints. Let's see what they decide to use first. As the flank comes through, Bob gonna get in there. Squeak picks up one, picks up a second. Got an anti on 4 people. I mean, the fight doesn't even start and it's already over. It's gonna be the Saints able to capture the second flashpoint. If they actually get on it. They could, in theory, never get on it.
It's very possible with how the Saints are playing. As soon as they get this capture, I expect them to repeat similar situation. Sunghoon gonna go in on the offensive with this nano boost, trying to find as much value as they can. Proximity mine is gonna be in their possession, forced to use the recall. Squeak finding Jester on the Juno. Noxious is actually gonna go down to pick off from the Winston, but still the Saints are able to hold their own on this point, and now it looks like they're gonna be trying to hold their own off of it. They are leaving it behind and looking for the kills. Razor once again on the flank with the Mercy behind with the damage boost, looking if they could find any pickoffs, any good amount of damage. Dynamite coming through, finding 2 with it. This Winston getting chewed up, almost gets put into the dumpster. Has to use the bubble to stay alive as their support goes back up.
They use the ultimate there. Western University is just not utilizing their cooldown properly as they're falling left and right. I mean, this Saints double hit scan Mercy comp has been completely an item. A nice snipe though. Front dude lives on 9 HP, not for long. Squeaks takes that one up. Noxious takes down Lynx. That's gonna be the second flashpoint going to the Saints, so they put themselves on match point.
Yeah, second flashpoint going their way. They've captured many points in this series, and they just need to capture and hold one more if they want to walk away the victors of this one. Songhoon with the proximity mine in hand. It's and also the Winston very close to having their ultimate. Unfortunately for them, though, the next one behind is going to be 60%, whereas the Saints, they are a lot closer together with having their ults, and you want to value having them all closer together than just having them on their own. Razor finding 2 immediately. Love Note's gonna fall to the Winston dive. You're sacrificing your support to take out basically the entirety of the enemy team, and that is more than value. Anyone would take that trade any day of the week, especially when you have another support just eager to heal up with the Mercy. Razor finding a lot of work on this first initiation on this second flashpoint, and Squeak with the ultimate in hand as well. This is going to be very difficult for Western University to find and get things going. They have the Winston ultimate, nano boost not too far behind, but very similarly the Saints have the ultimate on Squeak. Bob coming through, this is basically a second tank that they have to deal with now. Love Note very close, Noxious as well, very close to the ultimates, but Soak's taken out. Down 1 support. Can Love Note get the ultimate in time to supplement the fact that they lost another support?
It doesn't look like it's going to matter. This Winston's going to fall without using the ultimate. 50% now just from one team fight. I mean, it's last fight territory here for Western University. Saints, they use a lot of ultimates, but they're going to have both support ultimates and the soldier ultimate here coming up. So it's getting down to 1 HP, and it's going to fall. I'm not too sure how that happens. But Razor finds a trade. Love Note has that ultimate ready. He's going to use it, and Noxious has the tactical visor ready. He's going to do so much damage combined alongside the Kirk ultimate. There goes Jester, who is going to be the next one to fall. It's going to be Lynx. Nice target priority here from Noxious, as it's going to be the Saints finding kills left and the right. 37 HP left on this Winston. He will fall down. It's going to be the Saints getting one final kill here. I think a Tracer might touch as well. No. That's going to be the end of the map here. Saints, they take it 3-0. They take the series 3-0 as they keep their perfect record alive.
Yeah, fantastically done. I'm curious to see who got play of the game. I feel like anyone on the teams could have, but probably right. Not Razor. Noxious with the Echo. I'm curious to see. It might have been something we didn't get to witness is the sticky bombs going through. This is the first play we saw on this map, and evidently left an impression on Overwatch as they're going to be highlighting it. Noxious finding the tank, beaming down a DPS, and hey, that's enough to get you play of the game in this economy.
I mean, that's a good play right there. It wins the team fight, and you can see they're very relaxed. You know, they're happy. Look at that beautiful grab of the hands by Razor and Soaks there. That's what you love to see. Teamwork makes the dream work, and the dream was definitely working that game.
Yeah, I feel like I'm still dreaming with how dreamlike that run was from the Saints. 3-0 against Western University. Not a small feat, but the Saints were able to accomplish it and again make it look relatively effortless. Of course, they are the favorite team going into this series, and they are not going to disappoint coming out on top, like I mentioned many times before, 3-0 over against Western University. But they're not done tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Since they were able to come out on top in this first series, they are going to have another one right up against University of Ottawa, and whoever wins this one is going to be locked into the playoffs, ready to fight for the championship.
Absolutely, it's going to be an important game coming up here. University of Ottawa did get a bye, so interesting that happened, and now they kind of get to see what the Saints are playing today. They get to see what maybe they could play, but you know, with how this series went so dominant, if I was you, Ottawa, I wouldn't be too confident.
Yeah, Saints riding the momentum. There's obviously advantages when it comes to buys, but there are disadvantages. The Saints, of course, if they lost, then that would have been a disadvantage if they didn't get a buy. But they won, so you could look at it as they got a buy, but they also got the benefit of being able to play an entire series, dominantly winning it. So they're going to have a little bit of a confidence boost. Their hands are going to be warmed up, ready to go. Strategies, comms, everything hot and ready to go for the next one. So again, University of Ottawa, I hope they've been practicing because it seems like the Saints are going to be coming out swinging.
Yeah, absolutely. Saints just look good. I'm still expecting kind of a similar roster for game 2. We saw Noxious come in there on map 2, and with Noxious, without Noxious, it still looked very, very dominant. But you know, with Noxious in there, they're definitely probably at their strongest because he's their best DPS player, I would say, for his specific role. So as soon as Noxious subbed in, the game became really easy. As you saw, they barely lost any team fights, and it was just a great synergy, great team play from the Saints. Well-deserved 3-0.
Yeah, 100%. Saints looking to be leading a strong impression for this first series. Excited to see what they have in store. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get things ready to go for this next series. Don't go anywhere. We have more Canadian Esports Nationals action lined up for you after a quick break. We'll see you guys soon.